The Lives of the Saints by Father Alban Butler, March 16th. Blessed John Amias and Blessed Robert Dalby. John Amias, or Anne and Robert Dalby, were from Yorkshire. After their studies at Douai College in Reims, they were ordained priests and left for the mission in England, where they died in 1589. Amias, who was a widower and a Trappist monk, missioned for 7 or 8 years in England before being captured. Dalby, who had been a Protestant minister, had been back in England for a year when he was apprehended. Not many details of his labors seem to be accurate, but we have a graphic description of his deaths in Dr. Champney's manuscript quoted by Challoner. This says, "On the 16th of March of this year, John Amias and Robert Dalby, priests of the seminary of Douai, were executed at York, charged with high treason for the crime of being priests ordained by the authority of the See of Rome, and having returned to England to exercise their ministry for the benefit of the souls of their neighbors. I was 20 years old when I was an eyewitness to the glorious combat of these holy men. At sight of their constancy and meekness, I returned home convinced of the Catholic faith in which I have remained by the grace of God. For there was visible in those holy servants of God so much meekness joined to such singular constancy that one would easily have said they were sheep led to the slaughter." After describing the execution of John Amias and Robert Dalby, he adds, "The guards were very attentive to prevent any of those who had gathered to see the execution from taking any of the martyrs' belongings or blood. Even so, one person, who seemed to me to be a great lady, not without difficulty, making her way through the crowd, came to the place where their bodies lay torn to pieces, clasped her hands together, and raised her eyes to heaven, which deeply moved those present. He also said a few words that I could not hear because of the tumult and noise. Immediately, a clamor was raised against her as an idolater, and she was removed from there, but I could not tell whether she was taken to prison or not."